It's the Brian and Kindra Show with Brian Cook and Kindra Cox of Keller Williams Realty Elite.
I am Kindra Cox.
I'm Brian Cook.
Between the two of us, we have over 30 years of experience.
Sharing real estate tips and advice. Right here on Classic Hits 1073.
Hey, it's Brian Cook with the Brian and Kindra Show, and I'm also with...
I'm Kindra Cox
Kindra
with the
Cox.
Brian and Kindra Show. Oh, okay.
Make sure I get
That's
your shot.
us trying to make sure you remember my name.
Yes.
Okay, so we are with Keller Williams Realty Elite.
Yes, we
Yes. So I'm super excited about today. Like, I've been begging you to do this one for like 3 weeks, and you finally said, okay, I can be the boss.
are. Yes.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, so we're going to talk about foreclosures, which is super exciting because we're about
We
to
kind of
see
started
if you...
in foreclosure world when
It's
we
not...
both started.
Well, yeah.
Almost 20 years ago, it was like there was tons of them. It seemed like.
There were quite a few. There were. I learned a lot about foreclosure back about, 15 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some of the things that we know and tell you a little bit tips and tricks. But first, we're going to talk about some fun.
That's right. Let's do it. Guess
Okay.
what tomorrow is?
Friday. Thank you, Lord. It's
Pineapple
Friday.
Day. It's no big deal.
Sorry.
It's
How
gonna be-
did I not know?
It's going to be crazy.
It's also
Because
Friday.
guess what we get to do tonight?
What?
Core
Pineapple?
70 pineapples.
That's funny because I'm playing with peaches tonight, actually.
So yeah, 2 more days of no big deal snow cone stand, and it is closed for the season.
No, what will I do for ice after I come back from lunch?
Friday, you come to First Friday, and you get free snow cone.
First Friday, Woodward Main Street. Super excited about this. Okay, so we're doing this whole, doggone it, I forgot what it's called again.
First Friday.
No, okay, it's a Baskin Bash
Yes.
because of the, say
Tiger
the words.
thing.
Yeah. I keep meaning to remember, but I just can't do it. Okay, so we're
We'll have to
going
watch
to do...
that show between now and then, I guess.
Well, I tried to watch it, but it doesn't stick in my brain. It's just not for me. But that's okay, because it's for a lot of other people, and it is going to be fun. And they're going to have, but what's his name? The tiger guy.
Tiger
Joe
King.
Branson.
Exotic.
What?
Joe Exotic.
Yeah,
Jo-
Joe Exotic.
Okay, Joe Exotic. They're going to have, like, this whole dress-up thing at 6:30 p.m., and there's going to be prizes. So you dress up as Joe Exotic or the Carol Baskin lady, right? And this is a Baskin Bash is what they're calling it. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And we're going to do Critter Caravan.
Yes, with Circle of Care.
Yeah, Circle of Care. Okay, so this is a really cool program. Circle of Care is a nonprofit organization, and they provide assistance to foster families. And there are a lot of people in the foster system, a lot of children in the foster system. So we really want to support that. We're real excited about it. Okay, and again, all of the proceeds, so every donation that comes into Critter Caravan goes directly to Circle of Care.
Yep, and by special request, we ordered 24 tigers
Yes, and they're like
with leopard outfits.
well, I don't know how that works, but they're like the snow tigers or something,
Yes,
right?
yep.
Yes. Okay, and then I had something else on my list. Oh, we're going to talk about this. This is fun. You remember? This week at my house.
Oh, yes.
This week. Branson, do you have stickers in your yard?
I do not.
Do you want some?
No, thank you.
Okay, well,
don't need any
fine.
more.
That's not cute. So I had a sticker picking party at my house.
Sounds so much fun.
It was so great.
Yes.
Not
Sharpen your
okay.
skills.
It was sharp. There was lots of little pokey stickers on my fingers.
Get
I
to the
got
point.
hey.
Point, get it?
No, I didn't get it. Okay, with it now. My face turning red because I laughed like that on the air. Okay, so we spent I don't know. It felt like hours and hours. It was probably 10 minutes. I don't know. Anyway, so I did my little swath in the yard, and everybody has like their little section, right? And so there's 4 of us working, and I feel like we did pretty good, really. But the next day, like, I come to work and Brian's like, "Hey, look at this really cool tool I have."
It would have saved you.
Oh my freaking gosh. And the time it took me like 30 minutes, what took me 30 minutes, I did in like 10 minutes each day in lunch with a special tool. So here's the moral of the story.
Have the right tools.
Have the right tools.
Yes.
You were all teasing it up at the
Efficiency.
office. Do you want to go ahead and finish it?
No. What was that saying? I can't remember now. It's
This
been a long
morning,
day.
he's like, we need to talk about having the right tools. That's us.
Yes,
We're
we
the
do.
agents. Us realtors are the right tools.
Yes. That's our new ad.
No, it's not. I don't want, no,
Get you out
it's
of a
not.
sticky situation. Sorry.
You could do this all day, couldn't you? Usually I'm the funny one.
I
Good
know, sorry.
job. Good job, boss.
It's because I'm hungry.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, you've got like
I
this
know,
whole package of beef jerky. You've got these
I've eaten it all. It's
cashews.
gone. That's almost gone.
There's one or two more
I'll
bites
get it.
left in there. All right,
Commercial
so
break coming up.
we're gonna take a commercial break.
No, that's what I said when I finished my lunch.
You've been eating all day. I don't think you can call that lunch. All right. Do we have more announcements? Did I miss anything? What's on your list?
First Friday, Critter Van, it's no big deal.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So First Friday is a week from tomorrow,
Week from tomorrow.
and it's actually from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock.
Yes.
We're gonna be there the whole time.
We're
mean,
going to
you
be
will
there
be.
till we like. Actually, Circle of Care is actually helping us do the
Yes.
event.
So
if
you
have
can meet the
questions
Circle of
about
Care people.
adoption and
Raquel Racine.
foster and all that stuff, they'll be there to answer questions.
It's gonna be fabulous.
It'll be great.
Hey, Raquel was on our Discover Woodward show.
She was.
Actually, it was her and her husband for Taco Factory.
Yes.
But that was a fun interview.
Yes, we have been so busy. We have missed. We didn't do one interview this week.
No, we didn't. But I
I
almost.
don't know when we'd have done it.
I mean, one time I could see at my desk at the office, so that was kind of cool.
Yep. It's been one of them weeks we've sold. Well, we've negotiated a lot of deals.
We haven't
Not
got
sure
well.
if we got them all done yet, but
Today I had to scroll down to like the second part of the page on our little form thing to get to the new. I don't even know what I'm saying. Anyway, it's been crazy, and I don't know how
Yes.
many files I touched today.
yep.
Okay, so busy's good. Oh,
Yes.
it's
So before we do a
time.
commercial break. Commercial break.
We have music.
Yes. All right. Let's hear it.
You ready?
No, why does Brian
Yes.
get music?
Here goes theme music. Let's go. Yes. Awesome. Here they are. Statistics for Woodward, Oklahoma for the last 7 days. We have 91 listings, which is 5 less than last week. But there's only been one new listing in Woodward in the last 7 days, which is weird. That's not very many.
Say it again. One new listing.
Only one. And the one,
That's because
there's been a couple that we sold that didn't get listed. There are 41 pending, which is up 6 from last week, which is awesome. There are 30 pending contracts in 73801, zip. And in all of Northwest Oklahoma, new pendings in the last 7 days, 10. So only one new listing, but we put 10 properties under contract this week. So that's awesome. That's why our listing numbers are down. We also had 3 withdrawn or expired. We had 4 closings this week, so sold transactions. 2 in Woodward, and then we actually our inventory is decreased, but we have a bunch of pendings, but are still months of inventory on the markets now over 10, and it's just gradually grown since April. So it started in 6s, 7s, 8s, now it's at 10. So we're at 10 months of inventory. So
which means that things are selling slower.
things are selling slower. That's what
Yes,
that means.
because they're still selling, obviously. And actually, our prices. Did you do any numbers on prices?
There's been 13 price drops and 1 price increase.
Okay.
So that's
That's not what I
optimistic.
meant.
We have one
What I
optimistic
meant
seller.
was, are things selling? How far are things selling from their asking price?
Actually, I did look that up. It's 95.6%. The reason, but it's not a true reflection, and we're working on getting our statistics correctly, because if they drop the price and then it sells, it goes off the new adjusted price instead of the original list price. So
That's a really good point, because like this week we took a huge price drop on, I just forgot the address, but on 18th Street. I mean, that had a really significant price drop. So if we had an offer tomorrow and we sold it tomorrow, it may not really reflect how long it's been on the market at the previous
right,
price.
and so the price to
that's a
sell list ratio wouldn't be
good
correct.
thought.
Original. So
Okay, so it's time for a little commercial break,
do it.
and we'll be right back.
Comfort Zone is a multi-generational company serving Northwest Oklahoma in commercial and residential needs. Plumbing, air conditioning, heaters, refrigeration, sewer and drain cleaning, backhoe trencing, and crane service. And they are your geothermal specialists. Contact them at 580-254-5864 or stop by 116 East Main Street.
It's the 5 hours you spend in the kitchen mastering your famous recipe or spending quality time with your family. Other insurance companies may just see it as a house. It's not just a house, it's your home. Hi, I'm State Farm Agent Kevin Kanzler, and I see your home as the time and memories you put into them. I understand what your things really mean to you, and I'm here to help give them the protection they deserve. My office is located on the corner of 13th and Oklahoma and Woodward. To call me at 580-256-2216 for your home insurance today.
OnPoint Land Survey can take care of all your residential, commercial, and industrial survey needs. This family-owned and operated business proudly serves Northwest Oklahoma and Southwest Kansas. These lifelong Northwest Oklahoma residents with over 19 years of experience are ready to serve you with the latest equipment and capable trucks to get your job done. Call OnPoint Land Survey today at 580-256-6757 or at 1918 Main Street in Woodward, Oklahoma, or visit their website at onpointlandsurveyok.com. Professional, trusted, local.
This is Todd McHugh
and Jackie Jones
with Woodward County Abstract, Dewey County Abstract, and Fairview Abstract. I would like to thank everyone in Woodward and Northwest Oklahoma for choosing us for their real estate title and closing needs this past year. We will be offering new services in 2020, including bilingual closings, internet closings, and digital abstracting.
We look forward to making real estate closings faster, simpler, and more efficient for you in the future.
We want to thank you for your continued support and business.
Hi, I'm Connie Rowland in the Mortgage Department at Bank 7. Bank 7 is a full-service bank with over 40 years of combined experience. Melinda Russo and I are a dynamic duo team committed to making your loan process smooth. With a variety of loan products, we would love to sit down with you and discuss your loan options in person, or we offer online and over-the-phone application processing. The Woodward branch is located at 34th in Oklahoma. Find us online at mortgage.bank7.com, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Bank 7 is an equal housing lender in MLS 677297, phone 580-254-0100, where our best investment is you.
Okay, we're back.
We're back.
Okay, I have the funniest story that kind of goes along with what we're talking about.
Yes.
Okay, so years ago, I don't know how many years ago this was, but probably like 6, maybe 8, I was driving out in a little neighborhood in the country, and as I drove around the horseshoe, I was like, oh my gosh, what is that? And sure enough, it was a miniature horse that was living underneath this manufactured home. And I'm like, that's the funniest dang thing I've ever seen. And so next time that I drove in that same neighborhood with a fellow realtor, I was like, girl, you got to see this. Like, I drove her back around and I'm like, look. And she's like, I don't understand why it's funny. She didn't think it was really real. And then after she realized, oh my gosh, it's moving, there was a miniature horse living underneath this manufactured home. So then I take a little break from real estate, and you end up selling this property because it ended up being a foreclosure, right?
Yeah, we might have bought it.
Oops.
Yes.
Okay, so did you buy it from the foreclosure company or did you buy it from the sheriff's sale?
At the sheriff's sale.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
What's a foreclosure?
So foreclosure is where the person owns a piece of property and they have a mortgage on it from a lender.
Okay.
And then the mortgage company, if you don't make your payment or they call the note or your note is over and you can't fulfill your debt to the bank, then they will take it back as payment. Well, not really as payment, but as partial payment. They'll have to sell it for whatever.
Take it back because of lack of payment.
Yes, correct.
So, right.
So
it's a repossession. If it was a car, it'd be a repo.
Yep, be a repo. So, and then they claim the title to the house. So they go through a process. Generally in Oklahoma, they do sheriff sales. So, which is a lot of, there's a lot of steps to get there, and we might get to that in a little bit, but a sheriff sale is a public auction at the courthouse. The sheriff will actually do the auction, and that's where it establishes a price. So it has 3 appraisals from either realtors or appraisers or lenders or people that know the real estate market. They'll have 3 appraisals done. They'll kind of average those appraisals, and they'll put that in the newspaper. So this particular house appraised for $100,000. Not quite 100, like 90. And so when it went sheriff's sale, you have to buy it for 2/3 value.
Okay.
Well, we'd sold the property next door for like $140,000. So I thought, man, if you could buy it for 60, man, this would be a home run. We could make a quick 20 or 30,000. And so I talked to a buddy of mine. He's like, yeah, let's go do it. So we bought it at sheriff's sale. Of course, now the problem with the sheriff's sale is you can't see the property generally.
Right.
Can't go in it.
Right, because it's usually still, a lot of times it's still occupied by the current owner.
Right, so the current
and
owner
you're not
was
supposed
still,
to harass them.
Correct, and the current owner was actually there. They wouldn't.
With the mini horse.
With the mini horse.
Yes.
They would not answer their door, and so you couldn't go in. All the blinds and shades were closed.
This is after you've given money for the property.
No, we haven't even done this yet. Like, we'll drive out there and see if we get in.
Okay,
we noticed
gotcha.
they was there, and we thought, we'll work through that process. Maybe they'll pay rent until we find them somewhere to
see
live.
if you can work with them a little bit.
Work with them a little
Sure.
bit. And so, we go to the sheriff's sale. And so a sheriff's sale works. You have to put 10% down.
Let's be honest. You really wanted to pet the mini horse and give it some carrots.
Just ride it. And so, maybe my legs are too long. wouldn't have worked anyway. And so we bought it at the sheriff's sale, 2/3 value, so it appraised for 90. We paid 60. We was the highest bid. Put our $6,000 down. They required 10% down.
Okay.
And then the owner has possession. They actually still own the property until the confirmation of the sheriff's sale, which is about 30 days later.
Okay.
So 30 days passes. We go to the courthouse. We write the check. We buy the house. We did all the title work stuff you're supposed to. And then we started we went ahead and sent a notice to the owners that we bought it and that we're planning on, fixing it and selling it. And we had a battle. It took like 6 months to get them out.
Really?
We ended up having to do a sheriff's forcible eviction. The sheriff physically moved them to the curb.
And that's so disappointing and discouraging
is.
because you hate to do that to somebody. That's a terrible position for you
Right.
and for the occupant.
Yes, it was bad, and so we had no idea that it was going to be that bad. So we got involved there. We just had attorneys and sheriffs do all that.
Sure.
And because they wouldn't pay us rent, we tried to work with them. So that's why it took so long. Is because we tried to work something first,
Sure.
and then so when we finally got possession of the property, so the first time we get to walk in the property. We opened the front door because we couldn't get in because it was locked. So we actually kicked the front door in. We go in, and it was, I'm talking, 1 foot to 2 foot of trash and debris everywhere. We're 90% sure the miniature pony lived in the house for some time with the
Well, hello, winter.
hamsters, weasels, chickens, ducks. I'm
Chickens?
sure there's duck feathers. I don't know. I don't know. Do horses eat ducks? No, I'm just kidding. But
I don't think
There
so.
were
But I feel like
dogs.
it's time for you to move on.
it was the nastiest house I've ever been in my life, and you couldn't. The master bedroom, the mattress was flush with all the trash, so it was gross. I can't even believe people lived in it. I feel really bad for them. There must have been some type of a health reason or something, but nonetheless, it cost us.
Here's the
point. It cost us 6 months to get them out, so we didn't make any income.
Right.
And then it cost us attorney fees and sheriff eviction fees to get them out. And then it took us $5,000 or $6,000 to clean the house out. Once we got the house cleaned out, we had to pull all the carpet. We had to treat for all of the mice infestation,
Right.
which then the mice chewed the electrical wires. So we had to cut holes in all the walls to rewire half the house. We had to pull the new central heat and air system out because it was bad. Pulled all of it out. We had to repaint and reseal every square inch of that property.
Right.
Inside the heat and air ducts, we had to send the cleaners down through there and clean all that junk out. We had to take apart the bathtubs underneath any access panel. We had to take it apart, clean all the roach stuff out. Cabinets, we had to take them apart. We took part of the cabinets out to clean. All the appliances had to go. So we ended up spending about $50,000 fixing the house. And
it's really not worth much more than that.
well, after
Your combined totals.
now and then as the market declined quickly,
Yes.
especially in the mobile home market.
Yes.
We sold it to another investor, and we lost money, and they are currently still renting the property, and it was a bad deal.
Okay, so here's the deal, because this is the part that I think is so important. A lot of times we have buyers call and they are excited and they want to know what foreclosures do you have because they think that it's going to be an easy sale, it's going to be instant equity, and it's going to be so here's the thing. Your situation is not unusual. So whenever I did foreclosures back in my day too, like I say back because for real, like it's a lot of work to do the listing part of foreclosures.
Yes. Oh yeah.
And so back then, we had to go check a property. Me and the guy that I was working with, and it was the same thing with. over 1 foot of trash. There was not a path to walk in, and to the point that actually when we got to the master,
Trash outs.
Yeah, trash outs. When we got to the master, he said. And this never happened because back then I had the strong stomach. He goes, don't come in here. I have no idea what was in the master bedroom. I don't know if there was like a body. I don't know. I didn't go. So it was bad, so
Yes.
bad. And so it's not. I want to just make the point that not all foreclosures are like what we see on TV.
Right.
They're not all clean and shiny. They're not. A lot of them have an odor. A lot of them have some significant maintenance issues or repair issues. And I think that that's really important for our buyers to understand that,
Yep.
because it's not an easy game. And I use
And
the
I've
term
been-
game lightly.
Yeah. And I've been involved with some investors.
I mean, I'd rather pick stickers than.
Oh,
Just
man.
kidding. Not really.
So I've been involved with some investors that have made really good money on foreclosure. So there have been some. I mean, recently we know of one that 2 or 3 years ago that we had an offer at $150,000 on the property, and then it went to sheriff's sale and brought $83,000.
Right.
I know today I could sell that house in its current condition quickly for probably $120,000
Right.
without even just slap that thing on the market.
I think I might have cried a little bit when you told me about it
Yeah,
on
sorry.
Monday. Even.
Missed it.
Dang, that'd have been a
Yes.
nice house for me. Okay, so let's talk about some things. Challenges in a foreclosure purchase. I wanted to address that.
Okay.
Okay, so
Which we kind of started that.
challenges in foreclosure purchase. Process.
Purpose.
You know, you guys just fill in the blank on this one. So here's some challenges. Because of the lack of maintenance, because of dealing with a foreclosure company, so you're dealing with a third party that really has zero emotional attachment to that property, and they want it to sell, but they also don't really care if it sells. Like, it's just a number on their books. It's not anything particular to them. So if they're dealing with billions of dollars, they don't really care about my $100,000 house in Woodward. Make sense? So where am I going with this? Like, your lender is going to have some specific concerns depending on your loan type. And that foreclosure company isn't necessarily going to care what your lender thinks or what your lender wants. So I think that those are some things that are always a surprise. Like, I've really struggled with some FHA, USDA, VA purchases on foreclosures because of condition versus loan type. So do you want to address that a little bit?
On buying a foreclosure with an FHA, USDA, or VA?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
So
And
the
let's talk about
companies-
closing cost. Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
so if you decide to go into a foreclosure process,
No, not if you decide to foreclose
no.
on your house.
Yes,
I mean,
no.
if you
If you decide to
decide
buy
you
a-
want to buy a foreclosure.
yes,
Okay.
then you need to. So number one, so this will lead me to the next story,
Oh dear.
is like one of the investors I use, they just risk. They're like, yeah, I'm going to buy 50 foreclosures in the next 10 years. If 5 or 6 of them have title problems, we'll just deal with it.
Right.
$2,500 quiet title, we'll just move on. Okay, but if you're just buying 1 or 2, you really need to do your homework. So
And if I'm buying as an owner occupant.
yes, so they require, like they don't require, but they suggest you do a full, title search. So you send an attorney, you pay an attorney, they go to the courthouse, they pull the title, they research it and do title search. Or you can have the updated abstract. You can update the abstract, send it for a title opinion to verify everything's clear and ready. So when you get a sheriff's sale deed, it's not a warranty deed. It is a special warranty deed. They don't guarantee anything.
Exactly. They do not guarantee that it is clear marketable title.
Correct.
So if I buy, now you're talking about buying at a sheriff's sale though, and I'm thinking actually after the sheriff's sale, whenever it's fully foreclosed
Even
and the
then,
house is on the market,
because they bought it from sheriff's sale,
okay,
then they foreclosed, finalized the foreclosure, then there's still that sheriff's sale deed in there.
right.
So you've got you
So
could
you
potentially have
really
a
want to
problem.
do due diligence and make sure that you have clear
Title
marketable title
opinion,
before
yes.
you sign and close on that.
Yes, and so I think for example, and sometimes you want to have a survey. So for example,
Oh man.
property in Shattuck. It was a big lot. It was like 100 by 150. They refinanced the house a few years ago. When they refinanced it, they cut the house out of the deed and just mortgaged a part of the property. And so when it went to foreclosure, the assessor's records weren't right. They weren't up to date. So when you're looking at the title, you thought, oh, this is great. When the foreclosure company came in and did the trash out, they locked and cleaned out all of the extra buildings around the property. So you're thinking, hey, I'm getting this big 100 by 150 lot when the new deed was actually 70 by 90. So they cut a huge chunk out. So when they did the foreclosure, sheriff's sale went through, they listed the property, the guy buys it. He didn't have a survey. Mm-hmm. So, and then the pictures had the pictures of the outbuildings. Well, the sewer line for the actual house went across somebody else's property, so he had no legal easement. He was in a huge bind because, it was just a huge mess and fiasco. So when he went to sell the property, he didn't even own the property he thought he bought.
Right.
So, he didn't pay nothing for it, $12,000 or $15,000, but He was in Texas.
So I had one similar, and mine was a $150,000 purchase.
Oh, yes.
And so I sell it as a foreclosure. So I have the foreclosure side, and then I have the buyers as well. Mm-hmm. So my buyers buy it. They love it. It's a wonderful place. They live there. She was keen on horses. It had 10 acres. It was perfect. And so then a couple of years later, they call. They say, hey, we're going to move back to Texas. I mean, I don't understand that part because, hello, we love Woodward. But anywho, I said, all right, I'll help you. So whenever I sell it again to the next buyer, we realize a neighbor calls and says, hey, I think you guys have a problem. Well, none of this had come up because it was a foreclosure. Nobody did a survey, and it was just one of those things. The septic tank was on the neighbor's property, and of course our loan is not going to let us close without a septic. So then what? Oh my gosh, it was a crazy fiasco. I don't know how much time I spent with Mike at On Point looking at how to do this. What do I do? We ended up having to get an easement from the neighbor who was luckily local and really super awesome to work with. But I mean, it was insane. And then come to find out, there's still another little problem.
Yes. Both east and west property lines.
Yes. Oh my goodness gracious. Which also is kind of a reminder to us, especially in country properties, I think more so in country properties, that what appears to be the lines may not necessarily be the lines. Like, it looks like that tree row is it. Maybe not. So, anyway. Okay, Brian has given me the eyeball. We'll be back.
Homeowners and business owners, do you want to know how to extend the life of your home or commercial building? Call APC LLC in Woodward. APC specializes in installing high-quality 5-inch and 6-inch seamless guttering and custom commercial guttering. Whether it's a small system or a large system, APC can help. Call APC LLC at 580-571-2384. That number again is 580-571-2384 for all your seamless gutter needs.
Our home is usually our largest investment, and we insure it against damage. One unseen destructive force not covered by most insurance policies is termites, which can infest a house for years before being detected. Termites cost U.S. homeowners an estimated $5 billion annually in treatment and repairs. Using the Centricon termite bait system, JCP Services can protect your home from the threat of a termite infestation. Call 580-334-5380. Again, 580-334-5380.
Stop in to Modern Appliance on Main Street today to see powerful Maytag brand kitchen appliances available in a finish inspired by cast iron. Cast iron black is a hard-working, matte finish that is as tough as it is timeless, so you can trust it to help resist scratches while helping hide fingerprints and minor dents and stand up to the everyday. Add an iconic look to your home with cast iron black kitchen appliances from Maytag brand. See it at Modern Appliance, 2102 Main, or online at modernappliancewoodward.com.
For 150 years, Sherwin-Williams has been an industry leader in the development of technologically advanced paint and coatings. As the nation's largest specialty retailer of paint and painting supplies, Sherwin-Williams is dedicated to supporting both your do-it-yourselfers and painting professionals with exceptional products, resources to make confident color selections, and expert personalized service that's focused on your unique project needs. Sherwin-Williams is your neighborhood paint store. Stop by and see them, 2101 Oklahoma Avenue, or call them 580-256-5861. Hey, we're back, and we have a very, very short time. But one reason we started this is we've had some people get on some sites that were kind of scams. And so, like, if you go to foreclosure.com, or there's a whole bunch of them, and they will want you to sign in and pay them for information about foreclosures.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Just call us.
Don't do it. Call us, and we'll give you the reputable ones. Okay, so Brian was giving me the eyeball. I think he didn't like all the stories, but I think the stories are the fun parts.
Oh, man. I forgot to list them. We didn't even get through.
I know, you do. Okay, so
next week, let's do it again.
Yes, so next week we're going to talk a little bit more about the foreclosure process. We're going to talk a tiny bit more about sheriff's sale, but
tax sale.
Talk about tax sale, because that one's kind of
interesting.
Yes, very interesting. And then we'll talk a little bit also about making offers and things like that on foreclosures.
Yep.
So, okay, so don't forget, a week from tomorrow, the Bask and Bash. I don't know why this is so hard for me. I don't know.
We're going to go have some fun. Main Street,
we're going to
spend
have fun
some
on
money
Main
locally.
Street.
So,
yes.
I think it's the tax sale, free tax sale.
Oh, it is. It's the tax-free weekend or something, isn't it?
Yep.
I'm going to need some time off to go shopping.
So, yeah, you have to sell some bears at the event.
I'm not going to sell the bears. The Circle of Hope.
Right.
Circle of Care people are going to do that.
And we're excited about that. So come see us next week, next Friday night. Next Thursday, we'll be talking more about the foreclosures, all this fun stuff. Yes, and sheriff sales. We've got some websites that we'll be posting. We'll just post them on our Facebook so that way people can get them. That way they get them correctly. I don't want to transpose them.
Yes.
So make sure they're right because they're very close. And then we'll post them. Just watch our Facebook page. And we want to thank all our sponsors for letting us do this. Get some good information out. So we'll be talking to you later. It's the Brian and Kindra Show.
Your new favorite, Classic Hits 107.3 KLSI Moreland Woodward. Tell a friend.